So what was your most challenging and exciting game in the season?
We've had a few. Sometimes there's a lot of things that you can't control, like the refs, for example, and, tend to get frustrated pretty easy. And so, there's been a couple games where we've gone through that and we felt like, we weren't deserving of the penalties, and those were probably, as a team, the toughest games for us.
When did you first start playing hockey?
I think I first started playing when I was like 4, just out on the pond, nothing organized. Organized would be probably, a couple years after that, but we had a couple ponds in the backyard that had always, had the luxury of going out and playing on that, so pretty early.
What was your childhood like?
It was pretty good. I look back now, and the guys that I played hockey with are still my best friends, to this day, from back home. So, getting to grow up with them and go through all those experiences, the road trips, the mini sticks, all that stuff, and being able to look back on it now with them is something that's pretty special.
Did you play high school hockey?
No, I didn't. Back home, you have to play midget. Well, you don't have to, but to get a serious shot, it's unlikely for guys to play high school back home and then go play major junior. So we have to play midget, AAA back home. But I would have loved to. We have a big tournament at our high school called the Red Cup, and they sell out all the games and everything, and it's awesome. All the students go. I would have loved to just play in one tournament, but unfortunately I couldn't.
What position would you like to play now if you were playing forward?
I would like to play D. I've played a little bit on the point and the power play in junior, and I don't think I have here, but in junior I did for a couple years, and it was pretty fun. Obviously it's easy to say that when you're in the offensive zone, but I think it would be interesting to give it a crack and see what it's like in an unreal game.
Do you intend to make hockey your career?
I don't know about my career, but I'd like to play as long as I can, as long as it makes sense. It's a little more confusing as you get older. If it makes sense financially and, it's the right time in my life to keep playing, then I'll keep doing it. But, eventually I'd like to get into managing, GM, stuff like that, still being involved in hockey.
Who's your inspiration when you're playing hockey, or what?
I hate to be corny and cheesy, but my parents have done so much for me, and seeing the young guys here, and we have to come work some camps early in the morning, and all the parents that are here in the stands, it's a lot of work, and at the time you take it for granted and you don't realize how much it is, but as you get older you start to realize. So and by no means is it a cheap sport to play, so I'm extremely thankful for all that they've done for me, obviously, and there's so many benefits that you get from playing sports, so I'd have to go with my parents.
What is one characteristic you need to be the captain of the Reds?
That's a tough one. We got a lot of guys on this team that could be captains, and I think that's kind of how we know, because we have a different mix of guys with different characteristics. One thing I think that works for me is that I keep pretty moderate. I don't get too high, I don't get too low. If things are going bad, I can try and calm the guys down. If things are going really well, same thing. I try to bring them back down. We don't get too far out of ourselves. So just being able to play in the moment but still keep a level head would be one for me, I guess.
Out of all your hockey skills, which one are you most proud of?
I don't know. See, my dad was a good hockey player. I feel like I got a lot of it genetically. But from what I hear, he's a complete opposite player than I was. I like that. I've been. A lot of people have praised me saying, I'm a smart player, and I like that. Sometimes it just gives me the ability to slow the game down if I have to. I don't have to go nuts to try and make a play. I can use my head and try and be one step ahead of the guys, and just simple things, put pucks where we can get them back. Just simple things like that. And I've always been praised for that, so I guess that would be my proudest.
Which one do you work on most?
God, my shot. I've been scrutinized for that a little bit, so I've never been a goal scorer. I mean, if you look this year, I think I have like 3 or 4 goals. So that's something I try to work on in practice, put a little more emphasis on.
Which team is your rival team?
I feel like we have growing lists of rival teams. You know, obviously St. Thomas, there's a lot of history there, and sharing the campus and everything. That makes a pretty big rivalry, but we've grown a couple in the last couple of years with playoffs. Moncton, we played them a couple of times, UPEI too. So I feel like our list, it's not short by any means, but with all the history and stuff, I'd say the biggest one would be St. Thomas.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.